All right, so let's now put ourselves into the world that we are presented by currently and living through before we want to say wake up and make decisions for ourselves. Is the world put in place for me to do that? Is the system put in place correctly? Is there anything that needs to be fixed? Because a program and a system may not be appropriate for a human, whether it's for human consumption, for a human mind, for human, when it comes to that, let's go all our senses. If you want a consumption, human senses for a human, everything that concerns a human. So touch, feel, see, anything to see, anything to entertain, and anything educated. Like all your senses, when you have a system that is the business is to cater to a human, then it has to fit within the human for the nature of what that human holds. It cannot be out of the human nature that decreases or contradicts the nature, because then it will affect in negative ways to your nature, because your nature will not accept it in your body, and then it will take time to dissolve. And some of these things that you put in your body that don't belong in your body don't just dissolve. They pick up later for all the consumptions that you keep putting. Your body's trying to reduce as much as it can. And then when it cannot, then you, or throughout the years of just little bits staying around, it actually brings some type of illnesses, sicknesses. I mean, there's viruses, bacteria, there's all these things and chemicals, artificials, things your body just they don't belong in your body by nature. It's not going to accept it for medicine, for what healing is, for what your nature of your body responds and intakes it, absorbs it for what it needs it for. The body itself will tell you if it allows it or not, or if it wants it or not. A scientist don't tell the body that. Nature has its definite destination, resources, natural abilities to heal itself without the modern medicine, because that's what the body is formed naturally to. So then all the resources are out there, but they're all natural resources. There's no artificial resources. There's no chemical resources. There's no any vaccine resources. There's no artificial resources that your body is going to respond to. All of these naturally take it in as anything for energy, anything for healing, anything for health, anything for food. Food is energy. Body is electric. It feeds off of these natural elements, not the unnatural and everything that I just mentioned. So with that being said, know that's your body. So you have all these practices in the system that have to cater to this. And within the practice, if any of the system falls short from it, then yes, there's a risk for your for your body. It's a risk for your mind, mentally, physically, economically, or socially. There's risks there to your body because you're going off the natural course of it, the natural healing from it. And you're reducing what brings life. You're stressing. Just because you have a natural ability to heal, that doesn't mean that your body can take or needs or will respond. That's why these viruses wipe people out. That's why things that are made like vaccine don't always respond to everybody correctly, because everybody's body intake of all these chemicals, of all these things, may vary. Some might be already so affected that once other things are built up and come into the body, even if it's just a vaccine with just a little trace of a virus or bacteria or something, like, you don't want that in your body, because it's going to give you your body has to fight it off. And your body, even if it creates natural essentials to fight, you might not have the fight in you to do that, because initially your body is not immune to out of its nature practices. So all of these things you're consuming, all of these medicines, all of these things that you have to heal from, that your body has to reject, that your body is losing from not having the appropriate energy, that is actually energy that your body's going to actually intake and heal from and grow from and build from and develop from. You're messing with people's developments for kids, for grown-ups, and all. It messes with the ecosystem. It messes with the animals. And then, because animals are injected, people consume animals with so much different chemicals. The animals have different chemicals in bodies and bacteria that don't go with your nature, and you have to fight for these things. You have to fight. Your body has to fight on a daily if you are putting these things in your body, right? That's how it naturally is, fact scientifically. You have the game changers, lawyers, doctors, to not only the U.S., I believe is the Navy, that is on a documentary. So that speaks on how your body is responding to all foods that are being consumed nowadays, and what modern medicine also should be considered as what modern food is, because the FDA, with approving foods that, first of all, you are being testing of your body, because you're already allowing out of nature things in your body. So you're testing your body. Because you already know your body by nature. These things don't belong in your body, and your body's going to reject it. It's going to have something negative for all these things are something negative for the body. Your body negative, rejecting it. So it's not that it doesn't do nothing to your body. That's not that you shouldn't even. That's not even a fact. It does do something to your body. Your body is rejecting it. So and none of it is energy. None of it is food source. None of it is healing. If you have healing and non-healing together, it cancels itself. You cannot have healing and then non-healing put together. Is a contradiction. Your body, you cannot confuse your body until your body thinks that it's not, that it won't be. Your body will be rejecting and has to heal with the things that don't belong in your body, whether it's a medicine or food. Fact. So you can get the Game Changers on Netflix. Then you have to pay for this information. When there's a pandemic, everything is closed down, is over everything and every business and every government, everything just closed down or worldwide. Like, so when it comes to then aiding the living to keep living, why we don't react so drastically then and put the food, that the pyramid food that is mentioned in the Game Changer is what the kids and what I grew up and they show us in elementary school. So if you're a Navy SEAL and you're about healing and making better of the country to fight, before you are a man, you have to be a child. And the child has to live generations with this pyramid that the Game Changer just breaks it down. And this is what we're feeding the kids with. And this is why when things come like bacteria and things like that, our bodies we're strong to fight things, but our bodies taking modern medicine and the way the food is given as supposedly energy and life is the opposite. So with that proven that there's lawyers and doctors, and the United States the guy doing the documentary is one of the Navy SEALs, the conductor, the teacher of one of the defenses units. So he got injured. He wants to make the best out of his injury and heal the fastest to get back to work and be out there. And he saw what will make it, what does it, because he found that this is the journey of what has come of that. But then you have to be a child before you're a man, before you can decide. So you want to give our kids Happy Mother's Day. As soon as in the mother's womb, there's practices that I already have, that I have put all in details how to get to that. So a mother and a family or a couple could say, man, I want a family. I can in a time when things are being deteriorated through our human, because of the organism and people not clicking and understanding, and then how the world of structure and the government and how the systems are programmed are out of our nature. It doesn't help me come out of my house or me building a family if I'm falling right back into that, or I'm contributing more of a generation that's going to come more of that, more of these pandemics, more injuries. You ain't going to heal from injuries like that. You ain't going to heal. You ain't going to be your strongest. You ain't going to be your brightest at school. You ain't going to be when pandemics happen, and is a body that you have to understand and how to heal and how to heal and take care and protect it. Protect your businesses. Don't tell you nothing. They can't tell you nothing. They don't have nothing, right? And then you off from work. Then you don't have nothing. Not $1, not 1 millionaire, not 1 billionaire, not 1 trillionaire. Not one of your community of who you work with is actually speaking up to get back to work. It's just, let's get back to work. We need money. Everybody knows that money right now is a dead factor, because money, you can make money, but people and how you will build, where you can't even make money if you're losing people. And you keep losing people because you're inviting people back into the world without a wellness plan, without a backup plan for your body, for your economic means. So it's just back to lockdown, back to superficial care, and nobody has to say nothing. There's influential people that supposedly help millions of people. There's people in the system that have people to work the way we manage, how we put these things out to service, out for a product, out for people to live, and have all these organizations and all these businesses making tons of businesses out there and profiting off of things that don't go with people and are going to hurt people. So where do we go from there? Oh, we're going to do presidential now, and then now all these influential people, now everybody wants to be, that was on TV, that was famous, that feel that they did number ones, and where were their mouths when it was shut down? Where were their practices? Where were they as people? Not because you could sing a song. We all know you can sing a song. We all know you're the president of the United States. We all know you want to be the candidate. We all know you want to be the next one. Where are you? So you're just going to stand in front of everybody right after these practices and the way the whole pandemic was taken care of and how the people were being treated throughout the whole time? And then you think that you're going to throw a parade and a candidate with all the famous people? You want to get people in all kind of categories. You're throwing everything in there because you don't really know. You're not connected with anybody, so you want to just throw everything in there to see what happens. This is not to see why we already know what happened. You're not doing nothing for what happened, and this is not. Well, let me just point the finger at the next candidate. He's like unpopular. This is easy, and then just be sarcastic. Just smile sarcastic, and then when I need to be smart, I'll talk smart about a topic. Other than the other candidate that didn't do what, probably unpopular, but because there's nothing else, who knows who will win. I know I'm in here. I don't got nothing else to say. But to act like I did something, I'm doing something, I'm connected with the people. If you don't have that, then you shouldn't be there. Because anybody can say anything and be anything. When you acting like you want to. You know what I'm saying? When you're not doing what you project out on the present, and then when the things that are happening, you're avoiding. That's not the way you want to take the people and act like the people don't know what's happening. And your topics that you're talking about now is not, all of a sudden is not what is happening. We already know what's been happening. It's not about promises. Because those promises they haven't done nothing before, now, and after. Because the after hasn't even happened. You haven't done nothing before or in the present. Before we already know where and what issues are that needs to be taken priority for, and you falling back and you disconnected on it. That's not the way we present ourselves to represent. We represent because we know this person is good for it. We confident because we are put in positions where we can rely on that lead source. That's what a lead source is. It has to be connected to what are the for the people that are consuming the resources. You ain't given that in no sense. And you think that because you could just point a finger at the next person is pointing the finger at a bat and all these other things too. Point the finger at a bat, point a finger at a race for a pandemic. Superficial don't care, like 6 feet away, shut down, face mask, vaccine. After I just mentioned everything, what vaccine is and how people there's deaths and bad reactions to it, of course, because of what I just finished saying. If it doesn't go in your body, if its nature doesn't, then you have to fight it off. And not everybody has the same fight in them. They ain't no age and thing. You know what I mean? Age and thing, okay. You feel like is the easiest thing, vulnerability. But a little baby or a little child could be less impacted if by nature the baby is being nurtured right. That's what our bodies are made for. So that's not a real, you know what I mean? This is all superficial. They're not connected with our nature. If you connect to the nature, then you don't have that, you know what I mean? Then you have more of a protection. Then you have more to fight for. Then you have life to live for. Then you have a leader to be confident and positive for. That's what a leader is. The leader is the state of that energy that you putting in yourself to embody, to be able to function and do the right thing for everybody. You're not putting yourself in there because you have all these alternatives. You have all these systems that have you in different agendas, and then you feel like you could just speak on it because I spoke on it. You still haven't done. You haven't even done nothing before you want to speak on. Yes, we're gonna do. Like, it's not about what you're gonna do because you just heard it. We already know that if you're not doing this because you ain't on it, and you don't need to be on it, because people that are not even on it, they don't come to the people that are on it to continue being on it, and you ain't bringing anything to it but whatever's already being happening, and promising something in the future for it. And you don't even level with how everything works, and you don't put the information out for people to start moving forward with this. You don't lead the people to these places, to these things. You haven't done nothing but run a mouth of a mouth of a campaign, a mouth of a candidate, a mouth of something that, you know what I mean? You're how many times can you just say, I want to run for president? That's the only thing that's really coming out of your mouth. There's nothing that's being connected with anybody. I could make a fool out of this candidate. I could make a fool out of, yeah, like, really? So we're voting on the person that can make a fool out of the next person, and then look at the next person and say how good they are when they could speak on things. But they don't do, but half of the things they do, they haven't done in their administration. They haven't even put a stop to half of the things that are being done that are not connecting with the world or America. So you have the game changer to show that these practices are for consumers is unfair practices. So the FDA is a testing, like, it's a study. If anything, it should be labeled a institutional study business, because you're testing your body on all these things you're approving. You're approving these as food, energy, and they're not food, they're not energy. They're actually contaminations of the food that is whole in this nature of that nature. You're taking it out of the nature and contaminating it. Because if it's not part of it and is out of the nature, then you're adding something to it that doesn't belong. And it takes out of the nature, so you get less and it reduces it. So how you take a natural product, you make imitations of it that smell, you make boxes to put the colors and everything to make it look like it's something that is to eat, and it's not. Because clearly what of nature will give you 100% of its value. And then you want to sell it for more because you put it into a box and you made it look nice for a child or a grown up to fit into practice for sales, for the consumer to drink, to eat. So you not gonna fool anybody with these type of practices. The FDA is actually approving things that don't belong in your body, that are not for consumption. The Game Changer has lawyers and doctors and a document with the United States of America, Navy SEAL sealing and signing the facts of what I'm saying right now. Just watch it. I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't have to talk to Harris. I don't have to talk to President Donald Trump. Because that's not what they coming out their mouth from. But these are facts, though, even from the United States of America. Government. So put that right there before you feel like, damn, you just want to talk about people and things. No. That's why I'm a for, because I'm attentive of everything and anything that goes on, because you have to be specialized in how business runs and how you can manage it so you can make it better. And between the consumer and the business, you got to connect. Your business can't be off of its nature. You're a business for people, so the people's nature has to be protected. You're not protecting the people's nature with the FDA, because it's out of its nature and the practices of nature. That is something that people should write a consent and say, I want to take this artificial thing, because you're testing your life on something that your nature is not going to accept, it's going to reject. And it has all the negativity to put for your body to try to heal and reject from it. That's telling you that it is going to have nothing good. Maybe could have something in effect later on. Yeah, facts. Either it sticks around and then it accumulates and it pops up into something else. It could be cancer, it could be diabetes, it could be anything. So with that being said, not only that, with the Game Changer, then you also have your ancestors. We're indigenous. We were rich in being healthy because we listened to what our regime, the sun and the moon, hot and cold therapy brings life. If you balance and you learn from that. Because everything that is life and is source has to go through the sun, has to go through a process of day and night, has to go through a process of hot and cold to heal and manifest through life for its nature. That's what I am. That's what I practice when I say Trinity. When I say Trinity, that's what I'm putting together. So with that, peace. You come a whole with yourself, and you come to understand that all these things mean that you have the FDA that needs to be put into a hole, maybe just discontinued for its practices, or put it for what it is. It's a study institution where if you want to go and test these products out, you have to go make a sign and know that these things are tests and they're not to be put as a consuming product to put in your body that is going to, give you these effects that I already mentioned. Your body is not going to accept it as a product of energy, and something could come out of that that's negative, and that you know that. It's not about putting it in a box and consumers just buy it. And that's not a signature. That's not approving that you're taking a test. That's just, you're already approving. That's doing that before you approve that you're taking a test. And you have to tell the people, when is the test going to end? When is this, you have to put all this thing in perspective. What are you testing this for? you can't just have a ongoing test that for no purpose and no reason, because you just want to hold everything that comes in as something that you can eat and put it in a consumer. That's not, you're supposed to not have it in a consumer out there, because it's already, you don't need to test if it's accepted by the body. The body is not accepting it. So it doesn't need to be accepted by the FDA. The FDA is a system. You can't put the system over the human body. The human body has its own system. Now, you putting the FDA over the human system, so you are wrong. You're in the wrong. You don't work the system over the body. You work within the body of this system. You don't work against it. You don't work contradiction of it and say, this belongs in here. It doesn't belong in there. The body says, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I'll show you if I'm going to reject it. No, it doesn't. No, it's not food. No, I'm not going to take this in. No, I'm rejecting it in. It is what it is. It's going to end up in and then it's going to want to get out. And then hopefully my body is saying, I hope I could get everything out, because then it going to accumulate. And I keep taking it, or accumulating to something else that's harmful. Okay? So FDA versus my body says no. Scientifically, by law, by all. Mr. President, Mr. 6 feet away, Mrs. You got this, but not one word on the facts. Correct, right? Facts, right? So let's go. Then you have it. We have now in the supermarkets, then the supermarkets, you cannot have a product out there. And then if you haven't even tested it to have it as a medicine, you should put it as a modern medicine. You have all these genetic food that is not made, that doesn't have the natural properties. Is lab made, all these genetic things that are not, and that are used with chemicals, sprayed with chemicals, raised with chemicals. You have that, just like the things that are done to the animals. So that is already a reduction. The plant are plants, of course, with